So now it's time to add a skeleton to this object. Let's go into Setup. Let's untack the sliders so they disappear when we pick something else. And pick PM_head. We're going to add the skeleton to that. Go to the Effects tab, pick the bone deform from the pull-down menu, and while PM_head is selected, add that bone deform to it. So all of our effects show up in here. Now bone deform needs to happen before Puppet Master. Puppet Master looks at the current state that all of the points are in, the current positions, and then moves the final model to those points. So because this executes from the top down, Morph Blender is going to move the face around, then the bone deform is going to grab that position and move that around, and then the Puppet Master is going to look at the position of those points and then move the final mesh to that position. So bone deform stays in the middle, Morph Blender happens first. Click on the bone deform node, and let's make sure that use predeformed points is on the PM head. So now pick the skeleton, use the plus key on the keyboard to add a bone to the scene. Switch to a left view. This will represent the body, and I'm going to unparent that from that hierarchy and place it just above the control face. So we have skeleton bone 1 is going to be the body. Let's move that down to the collar. Plus key on the keyboard to add another bone. Let's pitch that forward. This is going to be the neck. The neck goes all the way underneath the ears. Plus key again, and then aim this bone straight up and down for the head. Let's add another bone to that. Move it down on Z. This is going to be a support bone for the head to keep it solid. And rename these. So this one is just going to be body, neck, head, and then head support. Go in animate mode. Let's grab that, move it up and down, check to make sure that our head looks pretty good and that it deforms correctly. Looks good to me. We can hide this head support bone, so all we have are the animatable points and the sliders. This is all we need to animate this head right now. So everything is working as we would have expected. We only have one model, and we have taken that model, duplicated it inside Messiah, so we have instances of this model being loaded in as morph targets. As these models are translated and rotated around, we are taking selective portions of those parts using meta effectors to mask out and apply them to make the morph targets work. So we've generated a lot of good data from a single model without having to touch the modeler, except for to adjust the different faces to separate the jaw and the eyelids. So we have a pretty complete mesh here, of course missing teeth and tongues and eyes, but those are covered in other tutorials and they're pretty simple to put in. So let's go to File, and we will save this scene as ATMorph10.